Hey, hello guys. I hope you're all well. Sitting down for some coding time. Some little project coding time. What do we got here? Let's open up a project. Been still working on this. Might as well just continue doing this. Animal detection. Although I may work on. I've been wanting to do the README for this. Swift Arc. Yeah, alright. Maybe I'll do the README for this. Because I've got some feedback that this open source thing that I did, this library. Working on a CLI. Interesting. Nice. So I've got this library for Swift. It's like a template project. I'm not sure whether I should convert it to a library. At the moment, yeah, you just basically take this template project and then you use it to start an app, and it doesn't have a README file in the folders. So let's maybe do that. What we've got here, we have Swift Arc. Let's appcat, just cat. So, README. What's a good tool to edit READMEs for Git? Let's see. README.so editor. Use React Markdown editor and templates to create a README for your projects. The keyboard, yeah. So we've got 3 layers that I want to describe. So we've got the services, presentation, and utility. Well, we've got utilities. It's like a domain. Here we go. Okay, so this is cool. So we can do this. We can add a project title. So we'll just call it Swift Arc. Swift Arc texture. Then we have template project. All right, let's brief do introduction. I'll do introduction here. Actually, we don't need to write that. Okay. This product. So basically, this product is a developer template to make it easier creating well-designed, safely designed, creating an app that is built on the solid principles of software architecture. It does this by providing rules around where to build user interface logic, business logic, and external library, external integrations. Right. It's pretty simple, right? 3 layers. Just give us a template, do it, and connect it in a way that makes it easy to pull in and out. Yeah, I mean, look, I think at the end of the day, that's the main thing, right? I think the main thing is just to have fun. Just don't take it too seriously. I guess it's hard to... There are times when you're the CrowdStrike's developer who deployed the latest deployment. You've crashed the world's internet. Well, not the world's internet, but you've crashed so many computers. I can kind of imagine what's going on in the background, but I kind of, after everything that I've read, I feel like it was a disaster waiting to happen, putting unverified code. So they basically had this template language that allowed you to build additional things into the driver, the kernel driver for the CrowdStrike. Sorry, the CrowdStrike driver. So there was code that could be run and executed without going through verification, because it was like a template language that the driver would load and then it would do something with it. And something happened where everything was 0. But look, I was just looking through a log file of something that I'm working on. I can't really show it because it's a proprietary project, but it's filled with errors. Like, there's things that go wrong, and it's halfway through production, right? So it's in development. Lots of errors being thrown. This isn't available. This doesn't work. What's going on? But the app doesn't. I want to swear, it never crashes. It not once has it crashed, right? I swear to God. You look at our Firebase log that we've got for this application, and you look at the crashes, and we've had one crash, and that was related to Jetpack Compose on the Android app that had nothing to do with our code. It had to do with we updated libraries, something crashed, I had to update them again, and then it worked, right? Production app, not one crash, right? And this is integrated with Firebase, integrated with Bluetooth, custom Bluetooth code, and everything that I've tried to build around it. People might not agree with the use of exceptions, but the great thing about exception is if you don't catch it somewhere and you expect something might fail, at some point you catch it and you just ignore the outcome of whatever happens. You say, this is an error, let's ignore what happened, let's just keep going, right? So at the end of the day, I'm gonna do another video. I'm gonna do another video about how you can design apps well, right? There's a process. There's a process to do it. It's not that difficult once you know it. I've gone over numerous iterations. So, yeah. Well, deja vu. You can have fun building great code. I think unit tests are fun once you know how to do them. In my video about Swift, I complained about the issue of doing things the right way with regards to protocols, and I had a recent issue with it, and I'll see if I can find it. I should be able to update this package to the latest one. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's here. Package dependencies. I think this is the next version. Update. Let's update package. Will that give us the latest one here? No, didn't like that. See, Swift Package Manager doesn't like it sometimes when you... I just end up doing this. Let's go 1.4, I think it's... Is that one? Right. No, didn't like that either. What is the latest version? What is it? I've got these shortcuts in my CLI, my command line from ZSH aliases, and so I do a CLI git, but I got GTLP, which is like git log pretty one line, and it just does this. So there you go. That's a trick. Hey guys. Hey. Yeah, I've tried SwiftPM on Ubuntu. I've got that running, and I was able to get it running eventually, but I did it a month ago and it's on another project. And you know, as I say, when you write code, you and God know what it does, but you know, after a month, only God knows what the hell it does. Hey, Aaron, how do you pronounce your name, mate? Aurangzeb? Aaron, or is that like a? Is that yeah? Yeah, look. Today I'm working on. So I released this open source. Library on Git, and it doesn't have a README, and so I'm just writing the README. And I guess if you're here, you can actually see and learn Aurangzeb. Thank you very much for letting clarifying that. So basically, you've got your 3 layers. I'm going to describe what this is in the README file for the open source template project that I've released for apps. And I wanted to just show a quick demonstration of one of the issues I had with Swift. What do you call it? Abstractions. So I think it was in the library. Finished. Did I have to refresh it? Xcode. File. Packages. Reset package cases. Wait a second. I think it was the... There we go. No, 1.04. 1.0.4 should be the latest one. So 1.04. Yeah, there we go. I just have to do that. Sometimes you just have to kick it up the bum a little bit and it does it. Works. Skipping case due to an error. An unknown error code reference. Not found. I don't understand. Is this like the latest one? Well, it says it's got that version, so... Okay. This is what I want to talk about, right? This one here, array plus extension. Is it this one here? Unique in order? No, that's not it. It's not it. Sorry, wrong one. Sequence set. This one's funny. I had a unique. I know that there was a unique in the algorithms, and they probably actually do it properly. But I just added this to sequence. I just set it to a set. And then returned. I don't know if that'll work properly, but I've used it and it works fine. A set just as a collection of all symbols in it. Oh shit, guys! I'm so sorry. Let me just screen share. All right, let me just jump that. There we go. Yeah, thanks. It's not the first, actually the second time I've done that. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Sorry guys. Here we go. This is what I'm doing the editing on the Swift architecture README file, and this is the project. So okay, what I was going to show you was some of the Swift issues that I had with this sequence. It may not actually be here. It may not be in this library. Let's see, generatable. Yeah, it may be in the library that I can't show you because it's not, because it's a client library that I've been working on, so they own it. Yeah, so it's zoomed. You guys can see that? Let me know if that's clear enough. But I guess the main thing is that I wanted, I'll do it here in utilities. Okay, and I'll show you, I'll write it here because wait a second, I've got to remember what that damn code was. Okay, so it was, I wanted, Let me just open it up in the other project. May not be. I'll have to move it over to here. Okay. See if we can find that extension somewhere. Maybe it's in this other file here, extension. No. Okay, so it's basically, you've got a particular behavior you want to enforce. So it's like, say, an integer behavior, right? Integer behavior. There's, say I've got integer behavior and I have a protocol, right? That enforces that certain behavior. We want to create something that is a behavior type. And that behavior is, for instance, in this one is factorial, right? Factorial. Oh, actually make it power. Just something simple, right? And this protocol behavior will return it. We want to constrain it, right? So there's different ways you can do this. You want to constrain it so that if we want to do this, right? Want to implement a power function across all fixed integer types, right? Fixed integer types. And I'm trying to find this. Ah, there we go. This is it. Okay, let me just grab this because I found the code that describes the problem with abstraction. So it's called BCD. I don't know if you guys know what BCD is. You guys, have you heard of BCD? BCD is binary coded digit. So binary coded digit means this: if you've got the number 22, right, then the hex value, hex will also be OX22, right? It's not your it's like every digit is converted to hex. Like this. Now what I wanted to do was go okay. Well, that stuff is fine. I'm not sure why that's happening here. It's not conform. So here's the first problem, right? The first problem is that you have to create that extension for all of them in the way that I've done this. But say they're all binary digits. All of these are binary digits, so I should just be able to go BCD convertible where self is binary digit. I mean, this is confusing because what it's saying is if we've got this type, something that's BCD convertible, and if it is, then it has these functions. Then by default, this is the behavior that we want. Then how do I enforce that behavior on all binary digits? Because it'll be the same, right? Binary integers will have the same outcome based on just the number until it's 0. So this is the code. Basically, it takes the first digit, divides it by 10, shifts it into a nibble, and then the value is output. I mean, I can... And then I tried a few different ways to do it, right? But each of them had their own problems. You could do, I mean, I could do an extension. I mean, int 16 should have the same outcome, right, as uint 8 and uint 16 and int whatever number it is, right? But I haven't been able to find a way to do it. It's strange. So that's one thing. It's just at first it was difficult to find the right set of options to provide a mix-in that extends the binary integer, because you can't do this, right? You can't go extension binary integer, right, and then go BCD convertible. You can't do that. It says extension of protocol cannot have an inheritance clause, right? Look at that. Okay, what the hell does that mean? Why not? And then I went, you know, you go to Swift forums, you ask them, you spend all this time talking to them about it, and then, you know, you get nowhere. Like, you get all these complex responses about why it might not work. 1 second. And then you kind of go, well, all right, let's try a different path. And people give you, you could use a generic or not. Different ways to do it. But this is, if you look at the video about why Swift is a mess, something like this is kind of part of the problem. It says a lot about the fact that there's all these little things that you can do, but it's not really clear which is the straightforward path to do it. Don't get me started about property wrappers in Swift. Anyway, all right, that's not what I was here to do, but I just want to keep hitting this point home as to the difficulties around mix-ins and extensions with Swift. I didn't have that kind of problem in C++ or or Java, to be honest. But yeah, sorry guys. What do you find more easy, full stack or mobile dev? The same. The cool thing about full stack is you get more technical stuff. The cool thing about mobile dev is you get more. You can do a lot more UI, and so, you know, do like fancy stuff in games as well. I think I'd love to create video games, but the only problem with video games is that I don't like the idea that I'm creating a product that, you know, people kind of have to sit there and play. I thought maybe doing a clone or something similar to Pokemon Go, where people go outside and, you know, do treasure hunting or solve puzzles, quests, things like that. So I've been considering something like that, but I haven't had an idea that I felt was motivating enough. I had an idea about a, you know, top-down shooter, which is pretty cool, but it's doesn't really fit within the values of getting people outdoors, you know, fitness and health, that kind of stuff. I came back to get some water. What is this barely readable Swift? I think I agree. I actually don't use the public keywords since this is a personal CLI, but I expect I would want, if I wanted to export API. Yes, if you wanted to do an API, this is barely readable Swift. It's not really straightforward. It does some digital logic here. It does some complex extension stuff. Basically what it means is that I can go like var uint 8, uint 8, and then go uint 8 dot bcd, and that would return a hex value that is, right, of a decimal value that is represented in hex. So that's BCD. No, I haven't used Kotlin multi-platform. It takes a few hours. If I go from Swift to Kotlin, it takes a few hours to get back into the swing of Kotlin things. And then after that, generally, you know, I just keep going. And I've done some really cool stuff with Kotlin. I feel like once you get in the rhythm of working with a particular language, it take a few hours to get into it, and then it's just, you know, it's the same. But I haven't run into the same kind of problems with abstractions as I have with Swift. But then again, I've run into different problems, and that's if you've used Kotlin, you know the idea that there's data classes and there's abstract classes and there's there's interfaces. So it's similar. It's still a similar kind of a problem. And then there's Simula. If you want to know where all this stuff came from, like a language built in 1962 and 1967 had all the same features as Kotlin and Swift. Okay, so we're going to this project here. We've got 3 layers. Let's describe them. It does this by providing rules around where to build user interface logic, business logic, and external integrations. The standard application model runs on the following 3 layers. And I want to see if I can drop an image in here. Can you do an image? Okay, there. Maybe if I paste, let's see, can I do an image? I'll just take a screenshot. I mean, yeah, it's just the semantics and the syntax for it are not. Yeah, what can I say? I've watched a lot of the videos, and I'm not going to say too much, but if you look at some of the videos about how to use opaque types in Swift, and you just listen, if Apple developer opaque types, I listened to it a few times and I can see what they're trying to do. But as the years have gone on, there's more and more layers and more syntax that's been added that kind of solves the same problems with different syntax. So now you have property wrappers, now you have macros, now you have associated types, and then you've got the opaque types, and you've got existential types, you've got generics, and you've got got all this stuff that was still left from Combine. Like, one of the biggest things that I thought was a headache was property wrappers. I think they stuffed it with property wrappers. Property wrappers hide functionality behind something that you can't first debug, and it makes the functionality like a little black box instead of being like an open language, which I think they're trying to move away from that. I can see why they're getting away from Combine, why Apple is completely given the Swift language now to the open source community. They've handed it over, and I think that's a good thing. I think that can only mean good things, but it is what it is now. Okay, so let's see. Can I paste the image here? Paste. No, how do I get an image into this README? Oh, surely there's a tech. Whoa. That's a tech map in here. Title and description. Okay. Search for a section image. Graphics. Damn it, how do you add graphics to the author's badges? Color reference. There we go. HTTP color reference. Environment variables documentation. Lessons license. Logo. There we go. Images. Placeholder. All right. So what do we have here? We have our color reference tech stack. Really want a tech stack? We can throw this out. We can throw this out. API reference. No, we don't really want an API reference. Doesn't make much sense. Deployment environment variables. Run locally. Screenshots. Yeah, that's what we want. To usage examples. That's what we want. Okay. So usage examples, and then authors. It's gonna be RealityWorks is just like the parent company name that I use for everything. And TechSavara is kind of like under that. We don't need API reference. I will use this usage and examples. I've got layers, project layers, and we don't need. I'm gonna rename this usage project layers, and we'll go to pages. I think no, maybe Keynote to draw up the examples. And I'll need to upload the images somewhere. Relevant logo. Dev2 uploads. Yeah. Do have that public site. Just upload it to there. SSH to it. Go. Should be able to SSH into that server. What? I have to go to my search keys and add it. There we go. That's the identity added, so now we should be able to SSH into it. Trying to figure out how to use it. Okay, so we've got the project layers. Let's just talk about this then. We've got the presentation layer, which consists, one, two, three. The presentation layer consists of the model view, okay, the model, and the view. Swift in this representation, the model is an observable object. If you use SwiftUI, you'll understand this. Observable objects are like a class that you listen to for changes, and views are SwiftUI view. That's the presentation layer. Basically, I'll go into more detail about it. Then you've got the domain layer, and layer consists of app state, of global state. I think they're called global state or app state in here. Yeah, I think it's app state in this case. So I did a video about how this works. Basically, you have, actually no, it's called global state. App state is the state specific to the state. You have these set of updaters that you use. It's based on Combine because I didn't use RX Swift because Combine is tightly coupled with SwiftUI. Is it better to not learn native language for mobile dev and use React Native for Flutter? Is it better to not learn native language? Look, I wouldn't learn React Native or Flutter as a start. They're more complicated in the long term. Not with the language. If you want to learn mobile dev, I would go native 100%. Because if you want to learn about mobile, native is about understanding how mobile works. The language is closer to how the mobile platform works. If you want to learn a specific language, then writing programs in that language that are not specifically that are not for mobile is probably a good way to do it. Like React Native React Native is a good one if you're a web dev and you want to go and build mobile apps, or you want to go into a space that builds mobile apps. Then React Native is a good place to go because it's very similar to React. Flutter, I kind of tried it, and it's kind of like half web dev. It doesn't really have, like, now that with Swift you've got Swift UI, and with Kotlin you've got Jetpack Compose. You have a lot more. There's a lot more going on that makes it easier to build UIs, and makes it easier for you to integrate with third-party libraries and that might connect to, say, a backend or database or Bluetooth. So I would definitely suggest native. That's my opinion. I'm always native first, always been. I worked with React Native, and it was very painful, and it's not good for support. So if you go into a project that's been built in React Native, good luck trying to support it for a few years. I mean, yeah, I've tried it twice, and one project, this is how bad it was. We would sit there, it was like a 2-page project, and we were trying to debug it, and it was a React Native Bluetooth product, and trying to debug the Bluetooth connection was just so hard. We'd sit there for minutes just waiting for the state to update to read all the data. So I would definitely go. Yeah, native. That's my opinion. So we have here. Wish me luck for serious work for a contest. I'm choosing Vapor full stack with Postgres. Any tips? Oh, I'm actually using Vapor. Yeah. I've got this other project that I'm working on was Vapor. I don't know what to say. Yeah, I think the more support Vapor gets, the better. I think it's got a lot of possibility. It's got a great future if people invest in it. I think it does everything you need. What I'm at now with my project on Vapor is uploading binary data on at the server. So yeah, basically you set up an endpoint, get it to read data, and then save it to a file on the server. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using the Django database, not a NoSQL database. So consists of a global state object structure that contains the app's state, the state of the application. This is subdivided into specific application, specific context state for different parts of the app. Additionally, there are use cases. This is which perform the business logic as separate from any UI or service implementation. And so this is really cool, right? What you can do is if you start building an app, you can build a set of use cases, right? And then have just some mock data. You don't even need a backend integration. You build the use cases first, or define them, and then you build a wireframe, so you don't even style the UI. You just build this kind of like skeleton UI, and this skeleton UI calls the use cases that do something, and the important thing is to manage the state of your app and the resulting outcomes from whatever the outcome of a use case is, right? Not the resulting outcome of a service. A service should be able to fail, and you should be able to still continue. So in a use case, you might have login user with whatever, login user, and you might have login user with Apple or something else, but you want to keep the business logic as separate from any specific service. So if you have a service that is a login service, you should be able to specify in that service whether it's an Apple login, a Google login, or whatever. And then the use case can call whatever it wants, and it should be able to log in the user in the app, because the use case doesn't care what kind of login it is, right? It shouldn't care. And then the UI will be the outcome of whatever the result of that use case is. So therefore, the UI cares even less, or doesn't even know what what services it's using, right? The UI, so say for instance something fails, the use case will then communicate this via an error layer, error subject. I mean, in here we have, what is it called? We have an error subject. Again, the error subject is just a list, or sorry, a pipe of domain error events, and the UI should be able to present them, but the app should still continue. So you inform the user that something's gone wrong, but you continue gracefully without crashing the app. Yeah. And next one is, we've got, okay, so additionally we have use case which perform business logic as separate from any UI solution. There is a stream of error events, of domain error events which indicate the outcome of events. Okay, so we have presentation layers. There is also an alert system which listens to events within the app and presents them modally or non-modally. So basically there are two in our alert system here in the presentation layer. We have an alert system here. We have a domain alert, and we have an error toast, which is a toast that's a non-modal. And then we have, I think this one here, notification toast, error toast, and then result, confirm action. Yeah, and this one is a modal because you have an action that happens after the user presses confirm. So you pass that in. So this is the UI that picks up a domain alert. We have alert action that just does something here where we test it. And then we got the overlay manager, right? So this is kind of like what sits on top. It's an observable object that sits on top of the app. And if an alert happens, it handles it by presenting it modally or non-modally. So it's all, if you get a notification, an alert, then you can say, for instance, that, okay, users logged in, users logged out, something's happened. Present that here right at the top layer. If there's an error that's happened, you might also present that and then have an action that is handled once that alert is responded to by the user. So that's the alert stuff here, right? A lot going on. You can have a look at this. This is all open source. You can have a look at how this works. You have the toast, just some toast view stuff. UI, Swift UI toast views. And then we have, what do we have next? Yeah, so alert system is, okay, so that's what we're doing there. The domain layer, there is a stream of error events handled. Okay, so that's that. And then we have the services layer. Additionally, there are use cases which perform business logic use cases. And then, so we're gonna do two parts. So these are the project layers, and then we're gonna do examples. But I'll want to just get this out first. I'll get this out without any images, and then the logo. Just get this in there so I can actually get something that describes the different layers. So the services layer provides. Service layer provides provides an easy way to interface with external libraries and in libraries external behavior that is not specific to the app's business logic, right? Okay, so what that means is you got business logic. This is what the app does. is the app's business logic and user experience. Okay, so we have a Firebase login, right? That is external to the business logic, which is business logic. I want to log in. User experience is the user experience, the flow of the app. The Firebase system isn't external to all that. It's just an interface that allows that to happen in a specific way, right? In a very specific way that's external to what the user experiences. So essentially, we could go and create a service protocol, right? And a mock implementation. I think I'll need to create a example here in the services layer. Authentication. So here we go. Yeah, authentication service. We got login, and then we got mock authentication service. So as an example, this is what happens. See, login. Seconds. I thought I fixed that. Succeeded. It built succeeded. But then, so this is the other thing I like. Oh no. Something. Okay. In seconds, what is it? Sleep. Sorry, I got distracted here. Sleep. Duration, nanoseconds. 4 seconds. 4 seconds. Okay, 2. Yeah, alright, I have to fix that. Let's see, let's search and replace. Find, replace. Can I refactor this? No. 4 seconds. Let's find it. Please hold. Okay. Let's hope that builds. Yay! Fixed that issue. All right. So where was I? Talking about services. We have login, and you can say right here. Okay. Sorry guys, I gotta take this call. I'll just have to mute. Yeah, well, there, guys. I missed the post delivery just then. Well, I'll have to go and I'll have to rearrange delivery again. It's two deliveries. Oh dear. Anyway, I guess that's on that note. I will have to wrap up. Thanks, guys, for listening. It's nice to see you all, and yeah, thank you very much. I will see you in the next video. I'll do one on the this weekend about Simula, the Simula language, which is interestingly a Simula language is something that was done about 60 years ago. That's very similar to what we have now, and I want to dig into it. I want to give some examples of why not much has changed since then. So again, thanks guys. Thanks for joining me on the stream, and I will catch you later. Bye.